r/AskReddit asks, if there was no internet for 2 years, what would you do to pass time? I'd probably be unemployed. All of the literature research I do involves the internet now. When I was an undergrad, we had assignments to teach us how to go through the physical journals to find articles, and I do know how to do it. There is a service that catalogs all journal articles and publishes books that are essentially just giant indexes by topic, author, etc. However, since the internet has made searching the indexes a lot faster and 99% of the journals are now digitized, most of the print libraries are no longer maintained in their old form. The indexing service stopped publishing a print copy in 2010. If the internet disappears, I don't think I'd physically be able to do a literature search. Play video games that don't require internet connection. I also like to make my own compositions on MuseScore, so there's that. Also, it would give me more time to practice piano. That's why single-player games with an always-online feature are the absolute worst. Read. For me, I'd first have to learn how to read an entire book again. I used to read books all the time. I loved it. Now, no. The internet, my phone, and having access to stuff at all times no matter where I am has changed my brain. My ability to concentrate on a subject for extended periods of time is practically non-existent. I feel like a different person. I have 4 terabytes of things I've collected online. Movies, music, games. I could just start actually going through the hard drives. And I have 4 terabytes of homework. I would do exactly what I used to do before the internet. Play Nintendo. And play guitar. Maybe basketball. Invite my friends over for flashlight tag. Who cares if we're all 41? I'm in my 30s. I recently played hide and go seek with my friends. It was a damn good time. If the internet were to suddenly shut down for the next 2 years, I would be more focused on circumnavigating everyday life without access to any online services than I would be with simply passing the time. Shit would be tough. You bring up a good point. We use as a tool not just for entertainment. Suddenly you're having to keep track of your budget by hand and use cash for a lot more things, pay bills by check and mail, which means actually taking time to do those things that now take seconds or are just automatic. Open a store where you can let people borrow CDs with movies on them in exchange for a small fee. Give it an interesting name, like Street Shows, or Cul-de-sac Crusher. That's a lot of jacking off time. Sears catalogs might be making a comeback after all. I would definitely read the dozens of books that I buy but never sit through. Books, board games, card games, audiobooks, still have hundreds on cassette, pottery. I wouldn't be bored. Sometimes I completely forget that there is a whole generation of people that have always had internet. It amazes me that some of you are lost without it. So, to answer the question, I would do the same things I did before the internet existed. I, too, remember how awkward it was to buy a porn magazine from a newspaper stand. Start figuring my shit out, e.g. exercising, eating well, learning Spanish. Admittedly, learning Spanish is way easier with the internet. I'm reading through this and I'm surprised no one said they'll just hang out with friends. Ick. Most people on Reddit probably have more online internet friends than the average person. Play guitar and play with cats and dogs. Agreed. I might actually get good at it. When I was younger, 20yo, I became really poor in a short period of time and it lasted for a year. Before my internet was disconnected for non-payment, I was clever enough to download some good games, single-player ones, and porn. Today I'm not rich, but I am middle class, but I have not forgot how fast tide can turn, so I keep 2-3,000 gigabytes of music, ebook, games, porn, Wikipedia on my PC, just in case I can't afford internet again in the future, so I would use that, I guess. Actually, we didn't have internet for a whole week in Iran a month ago. I was so depressed that I wanted to die. I only checked my phone to see what time it was. Can you believe it? I was in Kenya last December. Same story, no internet for 3 weeks straight. But I actually enjoyed it. Because that was a time when I was visiting my family members for the first time in 8 years. So I actually enjoyed it. Then on my last night there, we went to visit an aunt of mine who had Wi-Fi. Oddly enough, I wasn't pressed to check my phone. They offered me the Wi-Fi password, and the only reason I accepted it was so that I can download Netflix movies to watch on the plane ride back to the States. I had no internet for the first 30 years of my life. I'd lose weight, recover my cardio stamina, have a cleaner house, and get my work done on time. And I'd do crossword puzzles on the toilet instead of posting on Reddit. Honestly, I think I would learn survival skills. Without internet probably mean less responsibilities and distractions, which gives me the opportunity to learn how to start a fire, make a raft, drink my own pee, fish. Go outside. Head out towards California way, heard they got internet refugee camps there. Read, play guitar, hike, backpack camp, smoke a doob. All the shit I do now, just more of it. Finish painting my Warhammer army. I imagine this would also be easier because we wouldn't online lusting after the next box of gray plastic to bring home. Chop firewood, tend my food and amp, medicine garden, ferment veggies and amp, mead, press rosin, fly a kite, go swimming, hiking, camping, make music, make love, read books, forage mushrooms and amp, other wild edibles, invite friends for dinner, play with my dog, watch the sunset, watch the sunrise, stargazing, music festivals, journeys through the mind and amp, much more. Do you need help with the making of the love? Probably the same kinds of things I did for the first 25 years of my life. That there was no internet. I couldn't go back to smoking that much pot. Right. There are so many writing projects that are on the back burner for me, and if I died and procrastinate so much on the internet, I would probably have the time to complete. Hey, I've got a ton of spare time. If you're interested, you can send your writing to me for critique editing. A few years ago I had a writing partner, and I was doing the majority of the work, but having someone else to answer to allowed me to stick with a book project long enough to finish the story, fully illustrate, and self-publish. I'd go to live with my long-distance partner the next day. Learn to build things. Specifically woodsmanship. Guess I'd go back to living how I did in the 90s. TV, books, PlayStation, and doing more shit outside and with people. It actually gets to the books I've brought with the intention of reading and haven't gotten to yet. Oh, this is easy. I've already done this. Play video games with no connection, read books, write, draw, and spend time with my loved ones. Really, there's tons to do without the internet. Actually better myself. Read. Work out. Socialize with people in person. Someone will have to create a Reddit newspaper. You send your replies in regular envelopes and they're published in the next edition together with the post titles for the next week. Read. Garden. Clean the damn garage and have a garage sale.